Hi guys. We're starting a new stream format on several networks at the same time. So first, we'd like to check the sound, the video. Do you hear everything well? Do you see something? Of course, if you're not on Twitter, but on other platforms. Okay. Just a few minutes.
Everything fine?
Yeah, I see everything's good on Discord. Just want to get the double check on
Other platforms,
YouTube and Twitter.
Okay.
Okay, all good. Yeah, also, we cannot go video on Discord poorly because there's more than 25 participants here. So yeah, at least you can see us on YouTube, and I assume we're going to share the recording afterwards, maybe even create some shorts out of it. So, you'll have some time to see us afterwards. And I assume we can actually start. Yeah, one sec. So, as always, our call will consist of three main parts. We'll share the updates about the development, about the community, and then we'll answer some of your questions that you have asked us beforehand, before the actual call, and then we will look at the questions you are asking us right now throughout the whole stream. So we can have some in-live conversation. So let's jump to the technical updates at first, and we'll start with blockchain. And yeah, this time we forgot to do one important thing. Sorry for that. To introduce ourselves. My name is Valery. I'm Chief Product Officer of Swisstronic and founder.
And I'm the CTO of Swisstronic. My name is Dennis. And so I think I can proceed to
technical updates.
Yeah, technical updates. So basically, right now, the majority of the work and blockchain is focused on the new EVM. However, we've successfully upgraded the testnet to solve the high demand for the faucets problem. And also, we've been working on the IBC module enhancements. But of course, right now we are busy fixing issues and testing everything because of the EVM upgrade, which should enable new EVM Solidity versions, and as well as some contracts which were previously not working. Also, we are preparing some updates for the compliance module. I think we'll be able to present.
Dennis, I would like to stop you for a sec.
Yeah.
No, all good, all good. We were just kicked off the Discord stream for a couple of minutes for the audio. Yeah, please proceed. No.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So, as I was saying, we'll be presenting the compliance model updates probably during the next community call. And also on SDI, we are working on different issuer support. Right now, we are working closely with Nexera ID and other partners as well, but I think the main one, the main focus right now is on Nexera. So yeah.
Okay, so let's proceed to the updates for the application. We've added vesting feature in web extension, and also release of digital identity services imminent. So I hope we're all looking forward to that. We'll see a lot of great stuff here. You just need to wait a little more. And let's jump to the community updates. There are a lot to share right now. As you know, we have the incentivized testnet 2.0 going on still. More than 65K people have already joined. This program will go until the launch of the network. So you're all free to join that if you have not already. Also, we're adding new tasks constantly, specifically when the digital identity service will be released, you'll see some more. Also, Ambassador program is going on. We already received more than 600 applications, and 142 of them were approved. Regarding the Mint, which happened on the 3rd of September, all the NFT owners who have not done it before, you can check the rarity of your NFT. The link is below. You can just go and check it. And also there will be a lot of awesome activities for the guys who already have one. So that's quite nice. Also, there's the QR code in the screen, which can actually lead you to testnet 2.0 campaign. So feel free to scan it and join the program. One more important thing that we would like to share today is actually pre-offering of the Switchtronic tokens. The place is quite limited. Only 500 people will be able to join this offer. So if you're interested, feel free to scan the QR on the screen and try bidding for that. The price would be $0.45 US for one Switchtronic. And what's really important here, you'll get early access to the tokens because 10% of them will be unlocked on the TGE, and that it's actually the earliest opportunity to get some. So we're really looking forward for you guys applying to that. Let's jump to the questions. We had quite a lot this time. Also, I would like to make a short announcement that a small part of the questions that we received were generated by ChatGPT, and we really ask you to not do that because we check all the questions for that, and if we see that some of them are AI generated, we just remove them from the list. So the first question is from Adams Dave. Hi, I saw that Switchtronic has a token issues platform for real-world assets with all the compliance and legal regulations in place. How can we utilize it to build an RWA platform? Actually, this moment we're working on a feature called ZK tokens, which would be used as the basis for RWAs on our platform. And we already have several commitments with traditional finance companies who will tokenize their assets. Sometimes it can be just a tradable goods like gold or oil. In some cases, this is products, one-piece products, like for example, some jewelry or watches or any other stuff that you can potentially create as a tangible token. And we're going to announce these details soon. However, we are really open to this discussion, and we're really happy to see anyone who's interested in RWAs, specifically on Switchtronic. What's important here is that we're going to provide this service in regards with all the compliance related things, specifically the regulations for this kind of assets in Europe, in Switzerland, and in the whole world eventually. The next question is from Dynamic Web 3. What are the challenges Switchtronic aiming to solve, and what should be the expectations within the next coming quarters of the year? As I already told, the thing we're working on right now is Switchtronic Digital Identity, which is, of course, the centerpiece of our ecosystem. And also this is ZK tokens, which will help you actually use your assets in a privacy preserving way, but still compliant, and also to tokenize real world assets. That's like the most important things at the moment. Also, we are preparing for the TGE. So yeah, that would be one of the most important things. Maybe you want to add something from the...
Yeah, from the technical side, I would say that we are trying our best to keep up with all the updates in both the Cosmos ecosystem as well as Ethereum ecosystem. We are constantly trying to secure the blockchain and fix all the bugs, of course, that we have. And we're also expanding the feature set of our applications in order to support Switchtronic digital identity and other features, as well as I would say that supporting different issuers with different regulations and different requirements is also quite challenging.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, regarding the issuers, we're constantly trying to find the new ones that can show us some specific interesting approach to verifying the user or verifying any data of the user, and of course that are covering different countries, different regulations, and so on. So the next question comes from Ricky Testnet1. The first one is, what are the team current main priorities? What steps will you take to ensure that this priority runs as smoothly as possible regarding security? This can be the answer to the previous question, I would say, but the second part of this question is more interesting. But audit play an important role in finding out the known bugs of smart contract. Can you tell us how strong is your security system, and have you done an audit by any third party before? To answer this question, there are two important things. In the first place, we have bug bounty program running right now. And if you feel that you can be the one who will test the system and find something interesting or find some bugs or anything else, you can always reach out to us and receive the reward for that. That's the first thing. And second thing is the audit by third-party companies. At this moment, we are finalizing the terms of the audit, and I assume that quite soon we'll reveal the details of that and share it with you. Because of course, before the launch of the network, we need to be audited. That's the only way how things work. And the second question from the same supporter is, what is Swisstronic currently focusing on to build platform more widely known by the public? What interesting features and services will you present to the wider community? Actually, we are going both ways. We're going for Web3 community and we're going for traditional finance community. On the Web3 part, we are trying to provide the service that will ease up onboarding users to the new to the new type of services in Web3, specifically to ease up adoption of the regulations and all the restrictions which are happening around the world for the usage of assets, for restricting sanctioned persons, sanctioned countries, and so on. But on the traditional finance part, we're helping companies that want to go to the blockchain, but they don't really know how, and they don't have the capabilities to do that fast and nice. We're providing them a stack that lets them, let's say, tokenize their assets or add a layer of security for their logistic lines, and so on and so on and so on. So this is like two ways how we're trying to attract more people and get more coverage of our services and actually make the utility of the blockchain higher. The next question comes from Binsa Yoga. I see that the SWTR token has three main utilities for now: staking, governance, and gas consumption. Are there any more utilities, incentives planned for holders in the future? And also, how do we support builders, developers planning to build cool apps application on it? So the first part of the question is tricky in some way, because being a utility token in the FINMA classification, actually the only things that we can have is staking, governance, and gas consumption. This is the main things that are needed to run the network. However, of course, people who are building something on Swisstronic can use it as the means of, let's say, making their specific service work in some way. When for example, you want to perform a verification, all our issuers can set up the price for this verification. It can be set up in any supported currency. Let's say they can say that one verification of your identity would be 3 USDT, or it can be, I don't know, some amount of Ethereum or some amount of Bitcoin. But they can also use Swisstronic token for that. It's just important to mention that we are not actually making someone do that intentionally. That's just an option. But it's important that the token itself is used only to use the network and to, just to interact with the services which are running on the Swisstronic. But it's always optional. And the second part of the question was regarding the way how we actually attract builders to the platform. And there are several things. One of them I've already mentioned. It is providing a bug bounty campaign where they can find some bugs and get rewards for that. And second part is a bit more bigger, and we're going to share more details about it in the future. It's the grants program, where we are attracting builders and teams who are creating products using our tech on other networks, or they're building something on the top of Swisstronic as the part of our ecosystem. And this is the most important things. If you're a builder and you want to create something great for Swisstronic, feel free to fill a form of the grants program and join it. The next question is huge. I would say Simon Work 2209. How does Swisstronic plan to maintain regulatory compliance across different jurisdictions while preserving decentralization and user privacy? Specifically, how do you foresee handling conflicts between decentralized data control and compliance requirements like GDPR or other original regulations? It's important to mention here. This answer would be kind of huge, but I will try to condense it as much as I can. In the first place, we are not sharing personal data of people on the blockchain itself. The personal data is shared only between the issuer and the user. Issuer is the company who is verifying users' data. So the personal data is going off-chain, and following GDPR regulations is done in a centralized way eventually. Even though you have a wide spectrum of issuers you can work with, but they're handling the data in a centralized way. So if you ask them to delete your data or to show it to you, they will do that. Also, this is about the personal data itself. However, I think the more interesting part of this question is that how it will work if people from different jurisdictions are trying to interact somehow, or if the service is providing his features to people from different countries which have different regulations. Let's say in one case it's MiCA, in other case this is the regulation in UK, which are quite different, if you ask. The idea here is that each user is treated in a different way because different issuers and different procedures of these issuers are compatible with him. Also, the service itself would be able to provide different flows for people who are providing credentials which are verified for this or different region. I hope that answers this question. The next one is, as Swisstronic aims to scale its privacy-focused decentralized apps, how does the team plan to handle the trade-offs between high throughput performance and maintaining strong privacy protections, especially using T at scale? What strategies are in place to ensure both can coexist effectively?
I think that's a question for
Definitely.
me. Yeah, I think that's first of all, as I mentioned previously, we try to work with industry professionals, and of course, we have some experience on our own. But anyway, we try and share best practices and known to work solutions inside the community. And as well, I would say that we are trying constantly to improve the performance of Swisstronic, and we research different approaches and different solutions to performance in particular, as well as, of course, we try to have privacy protection in place. For example, if you take a look, we have the key rotation mechanism, which can help in case any kind of security breach appears. Also, I would say that we have several strategies in place already in terms of scaling, which I'll not discuss right now, but just ensuring you that, well, we have several things in mind if it comes to real bottlenecks. So yeah.
Okay, let's go further. In terms of real-world adoption, how does Swisstronic plan to bridge the gap between traditional businesses, non-crypto industries, and blockchain technology? What unique use cases or industries is Swisstronic targeting that other privacy or compliance projects have not explored yet? As I mentioned before, this is real-world asset tokenization. This is actually logistic lines, and actually anything related to attestation of the products or of the procedures within the real world. If we're asking why we're different here, I would say that our goal is not to work only in decentralized or only in a centralized way, but to combine two approaches in specific use cases. However, some of the things would be available for the Web3 community itself. Let's say this moment we're working on the product where we'll tokenize the real world asset, which is tradable. and is a precious metal. I think it's easy to guess what it is, but we'll share it quite soon. And this is one use case in our. And what's important here, and what may be different from other existing solutions, is that we'll have the way to restrict access to this asset to specific regions, restrict the trading of this asset, add additional layer of text application in some regions, and also to let people exchange it for the real asset following the regulations in specific countries. Let's say in Europe, if you're providing, or even in Switzerland, because FINMA have just shown the new regulation for this kind of assets. For example, you have the token that's backed up by the trees. It's a weird example, but it's an example. And each token gives you an access to one tree. By this regulation, you should be able to burn your token and get your tree. And that's what we're going to provide. And this would be not a one case scenario, but a thing that others would be able to adopt, because the code will be open sourced. You would be able to do the same thing using our whole stack without additional hassle. And that's quite nice in my end, I hope, in our opinion. But also the second part here is working in a centralized way. At this moment, we're reviewing a use case where we'll help a huge company that's producing the machines and machinery related stuff, to help them track all their products on their way from the production to the shelf, and to restrict it coming to specific regions. That's one of the use cases, which we'll also disclose quite soon. Many blockchain projects are addressing data privacy and regulatory compliance. What specific technological innovations or approaches make Systronic's privacy and compliance solutions stand out from other privacy-focused blockchains like Oasis or Secret Network? I think in the first place, it's important to mention that in terms of compliance, Oasis or Secret Network are quite different. They're not focusing on the compliance, they're focusing on the privacy. And comparing to other products which are focusing on compliance, we're different because we're trying to provide several sources of data verification and as flexible stack as possible, because we're interoperable with most of the networks and we're expanding it as much as we can. Our goal is not to become a self-sufficient ecosystem which is used only within its own, but to provide a tool that can be used anywhere in the Web3 space. And the second question about the privacy-focused blockchains and what's actually differentiating us from them is, in the first place, being compliant, because we value user privacy, but we believe that privacy and only privacy would be a no-go quite soon, because regulators do not really like that. And also, in terms of the technology, we're trying to combine all the most, let's say, important and interesting technologies at the moment, constantly evolving, working with the best, as we believe. For example, even with the Secret Network, we're sharing the tech. They're helping us to build everything related to the Intel SGXs, because we believe they're one of the best to work with.
And as well, they're utilizing our tech to build EVM for Secret Network also.
Yeah.
So it's a mutual exchange, I would say.
Yeah. And high five to the Secret Network.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go further. Question from Kipang. How does Swisstronic plan to balance data privacy with regulatory compliance, particularly in light of evolving legal frameworks? Perhaps as an example of the case regarding Telegram, Pavel Durov, who was involved in a privacy-related case. Partly we have answered this question already. However, what's really important to mention here is that from the day one, we are actually saying that we are doing everything only in terms of the regulations. If we're reviewing the Telegram use case, let's say, their initial approach when they first launched was that they will never share any personal data with the regulators anywhere. And at this moment, they need to adopt, which is, kind of complicated, let's say. But our case is different. We are not aiming to enclose all the information specifically if it's somehow handled by the terrorists or by the people who are doing fraud. That's not the case at all. So yeah, this is different. And if we're asking about the whole process of adapting new way to work technologically or new regulations, which are always happening here and there, I would say that our architecture itself is providing this kind of things. Regarding the regulation, we are giving a huge freedom and a centralized freedom to the companies who are verifying user data, the issuers. We're just giving access to them. And the way how they will work with the information depends on the regulation in each country and can be changed without any proposals to the network itself. In the first place, they can just stop verifying data if they believe that something is bad, and we can adopt. In terms of the tokens and RWAs, which would be launched on the platform, the ZK tokens mechanism provides by design a lot of ways how you can change the way how the token is being treated and the restrictions that the token holds. So we are trying, to do our best and to look forward for several years. Let's say the idea which we implemented at this moment sprang to our head several years ago, and only right now we see all these regulations coming. Believe us, the same thing will happen with the things related to the tokens itself. The next question comes from 0xNTFND. As Web3 continues to evolve, what's Vystronics' strategy for staying ahead of technological advances, such as integrating AI with blockchain or leveraging quantum-resistant cryptography?
Yeah, I would say that we're researching some things related to these fields. But I think at least for now, quantum-resistant cryptography is still in the beginning stages of its evolution, and I would say that we have several things we need to cover in that case. But anyway, I think staying ahead of technological advances is not limited to integrating AI with blockchain or quantum-resistant cryptography. We are constantly innovating and researching new ways of handling the data, for example, for the compliance use cases, as well as different technological, I would say, features that we are implementing.
I would also like to add here only one thing, that regarding AI. At this moment, one of the products that is within the grants program is actually creating a product that's using AI. Specifically, this would be AI-driven price prediction service for the tokens. So, if this is AI integrated within our blockchain, let's say it is, but of course it's a bit something different. But yeah, we're constantly researching this stuff. The only question is the question of being reasonable, because if you have some roadmap that you need to follow, you need to try to stick to that and develop the features that you really need to fill your goals. If we would be constantly changing our ideas when something new is happening in the IT world, that may be a good idea, but sometimes it just breaks the whole thing. And, that's it. Second part of the question is, in terms of governance, what role will the SWTR token play in the future decision-making of the platform, and how does Vystronic plan to engage the community in meaningful governance proposals? The question is quite easy. The whole way how the governance will work is much likely the same as you have in Cosmos networks, most of them. So there's no huge difference here. You'd just be able to participate in any proposal and to vote for the things. How we're planning to engage the community, I believe, in a way, how we're doing it right now, talking to you, providing some information, and specifically, I think we'll have the dedicated calls for some really important solutions, trying to show you our position and ask you whether you like it or not. The next question comes from Bish, I think. Yeah, let's go like this. With ADX chain activity growth and 10.5% weekly community growth, what strategies will Sostronic implement to maintain this momentum and ensure long-term sustainability? In terms of the user growth, we are providing more and more services. The SDI will be launched quite soon, and we believe that more people will come to us when it will be live, and more products will integrate with us. We're already working on several integrations, which is fine. Also, as I have teased before, we're going to announce several partnerships with traditional finance companies that may be interesting too. In terms of long-term sustainability, I believe that's what the governments around the world are doing for us. Amount of regulation that is coming out all the time, and most importantly, we still didn't have one from the US, but we will have one, and that's what will provide sustainability for us. Everyone will need to create compliant products, and they'll need to choose someone. We're trying to be the best, and let's hope we will be the best. Second question is, how does Swisstronic's token economy design balance incentivizing validators, developers, and users while maintaining a stable and secure network? To address this question, in the first place, I would like to say that while designing the tokenomics, we had several discussions with the product owners and founders who have already launched quite successful products and asked for their advice to balance everything as much as possible. Also with the people who are working with the with the exchanges, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And of course, our goal is to provide as smooth unlocks of the token as possible. But in the first place, it's about the product. We're trying to create a nice product that can be used, that will have a lot of use cases at the time of the launch, and that's the most important thing for the token itself. Next, considering the tightening regulations in the Web3 space, how does Swisstronic compliance framework ensure adaptability to evolving landscapes globally? So I think I already answered this question. This is all about the quite flexibility of the issuers themselves and the design of the network initially. And lastly, what role does Swisstronic's weekly compliance summary series play in promoting transparency and education within the crypto community, and how will this initiative evolve alongside the platform's growth? I would say that we believe it's quite important to show you the amount of regulation that's happening right now in the world. And what's also important that not all the regulations are really widely shown to the people. And sometimes you just know about them post factum.
Yeah, it's quite unique in the sense that it highlights the most important things, and you can stay updated without researching everything yourself.
Yeah, and you don't need to read documents which are like more than 100 pages each. Not all of them, but some of them, they're quite scary.
Yeah.
And we believe that helping you with this summary is quite important. In the future, we're planning to actually maybe make videos with our partners who are focused on compliance to provide some interesting insights or some specific overviews, but this will be a bit later, I would say. Question from Jerry Henry. What advantages does the Swisstronic platform offer developers through its EVM compatibility and multi-level security infrastructure?
Yeah, I would say that first of all, EVM compatibility means that the adoption is much easier, both for developers and for users. And that means that you can migrate existing contracts, existing dApps easily to Swisstronic while enabling compliance features, utilizing compliance features. Also, the customizable privacy allows the users and the developers to opt in or opt out of different services, compliance and privacy requirements when they need to. And as well, we provide several goods and I would say interesting solutions to developers which are not present on other networks, while still being secure and performant. And multi-level security infrastructure, I believe it's related to IntelliSJAX and ZK proofs, ZK tokens. Yeah, I think that that's also quite a unique combination, which I in particular I haven't seen anywhere else. And we are busy in the process of enhancing both the compliance solution and developing, as per the roadmap, the DK token solution, which will be also, I think, pretty unique in the Web3 space.
Yeah, especially considering that you will be able to use the ZK tokens not only within our network, but to migrate them to other networks without losing their most important stuff. And that's big. Second part is, in what ways does the Swisstronic decentralized identity module enhance data privacy and verifiability for users and businesses in Web3 applications? I would say that in the first place, what's important here regarding data privacy is that SDI doesn't have any part of your data inside, and if you're sharing the verification, you're just sharing some gibberish thing that will show that yes, you are verified and you're good to do something, but you're not sharing your ID or your photo or anything else. And in terms of the safety, that's quite important. And in terms of the usability, what's important here is that you can actually use it on multiple networks. You can use it multiple times, and you can choose who would be treating you on this way. That's the most important part, of course. And we're providing a set of SDKs that will ease up integration for the businesses. That's all regarding the questions, and now we can jump to discussion. I've seen a lot of questions dropped in the chats, and let's go one by one. So the first, why Swisstronic is the future of blockchain privacy and interoperability?
I think we talked a lot about it.
Yeah, we talked a lot about it, but yeah, of course, about the privacy, we have multiple levels of encrypting personal data. Interoperability, we're mostly interoperable with everything, and we're trying to be more interoperable than ever. Let's see. Next one. If I didn't make the top 3 apprentice ambassador, I was ranked 34th. What can I get from this position? I mean, are there any awards for the 34th place in a season?
I think it's a question for community management.
Absolutely, yeah. Any questions regarding the programs should be addressed to the community managers, so they will share something really up to date with you, because they're always changing the terms for that, and we don't want to lie to you, especially online. How does Swisstronic plan to balance data privacy with legal compliance in its blockchain network? We already answered that.
Yeah.
And what makes Swisstronic's approach to privacy protection using IntelliSJAX and ZK Snarks unique compared to other privacy-focused blockchains?
Well, I would say that I saw some discussions on Twitter some time ago that TEs like IntelliSJAX are pretty good in bootstrapping the ZK tech because they provide some kind of secure region which can be used to properly bootstrap basically the ZK capabilities. So yeah, that's
okay,
pretty unique.
How will Swisstronic ensure interoperability between its network and other blockchains using Cosmos SDK and EVM compatibility? Obviously, with Cosmos SDK, because of IBC, yeah, and with EVM, in terms of EVM compatibility of the network itself, it's actually the way that you can run Solidity code to build apps on the Swisstronic. But with other EVM networks, you can actually, interoperate with them using Hyperlane. And we're planning to add other ways of interoperability, of course, which may be cheaper or faster and so on. In what ways will Swisstronic enhance the speed and cost efficiency of transactions compared to Ethereum and other platforms? let's say that would be definitely cheaper than Ethereum because we're using a faster consensus mechanism. But of course, it really depends on the use case. The transactions itself, we were testing them, were pretty cheap in terms of the energy usage. But some actions may be quite pricey. Let's say some complicated privacy-related stuff, or some. Actually, it's all about encryption. The more heavily encrypted something is, the more expensive it is.
It depends also on the use case. If, if for example, you need to make some compliance checks before performing any action, obviously it would be like more computationally expensive than without them. But yeah, depends on the use case.
Of course. Yeah, but in some cases, let's say if you're using ZK tokens and wrapping up other currencies, which have like really expensive transactions, for example, let's say Bitcoin, that would be like multiple times cheaper, enormously, because in this case we're acting as the universal layer 2 in some way. I have a question: why Swisstronic chose layer 1? That's a really good question. But what's important to say here is that we're not just layer 1; we are a modular chain. Our goal is to provide additional services to other chains, not trying, to pull the rug and being the ones that are one and only. You should stay here, and so on and so on and so on. So it's a bit different. Why we chose the layer 1 from the perspective of the freedom and of the building itself, not trying to build on top of something else, is because we wanted to be as stable as possible and to have as much control as possible over the network operation. We tried building on top of other networks, and we suffered a lot. And
it didn't work out for us.
Yeah, and after that, we just understood that it would be a better idea to build our own chain. But that was not an easy decision, let's say. Beyond the initial launch and technical milestones, how does Swisstronic plan to cultivate a sustainable and thriving ecosystem for developers and businesses in the long term? What specific incentives or programs are in place to attract and retain top-tier developers and ensure continuous innovation on the platform compared to other blockchain ecosystems? In the first place, what's really important here is that we're coming from the traditional finance, IT, and the approach is a bit different. So it's not about the cycle of the token being launched and then all. Let's say our goal is to create an enterprise that's creating things that are always bringing some value to the company itself and eventually to the people who are supporting the company. We're establishing long-term partnerships with traditional finance companies. This is the things where you are building something for the company, and then you are working on retainer. You are constantly upgrading the product, offering it to the bigger amount of people, and expanding the overall client coverage. This is the first part. And the second part is, of course, Web3 integrations in terms of the compliance. On this part, we are constantly, and we will constantly add new issuers who can verify data here and there. And we will constantly evolve our SDKs to have more clients who are integrating it within their own solutions, because the regulations will only grow and the amount of suppliers is not that big at this moment. And being the pioneers in this term, we believe that we'll get a nice share of the market. Of course, we hope so, and we believe so. Are we under any security audits at the moment, and how the team feels about software readiness for mainnet? Yeah, as I already told today, we're finalizing all the preparations for the audit, and before the launch of the mainnet, we'll execute one. So you can be sure about that. We'll share all the details quite soon. How does Swisstronic plan to leverage its infrastructure to support privacy in the growing role of artificial intelligence and machine learning, particularly in the context of big data analysis? I think we should state that even though AI is growing at this moment, and of course we all research it, we have a lot of friends who are working only on AI-related products, but our focus at this moment is a bit different. And to work on the big data here, what will really make sense if we, let's say, will aggregate all the personal data of people and then work with it, using AI. But in our case, we're trying to be as of the topic as possible, handling all the personal data to the issuers, who are third-party companies who are running under specific regulations in different parts of the world, and we are only handling the process itself without getting any access to your data. And I believe that if we'll actually, work with your personal data and try to create some assumptions of that or try to sell that, that would not be the thing that you would really love. But of course, we are searching how we can use machine learning in our solutions. Let's say we are planning to make one integration and maybe even do this product on our own, which would be something like the automated verification of the data and the automated verification of documents, so that not a single human would be within this process. Everything would be done only by the machine, comparing the data that you have seen, whether it's good, whether it's not. But the main problem here is that in terms of the compliance, everything is really tied up to the people, and you cannot dedicate this decisions to the machine, because eventually, in this case, the ones who are responsible are the engineers who are building the machine, and that doesn't work like this in the European law. I have staked an amount of SWTR on testnet. Will be rewarded and converted into tokens. Actually, I don't think so. If that was, let's say, the part of any campaign, for example, you are in testnet 0.0 and you have a task to stake the tokens. Of course, as the part of this task, you're getting the reward. But if you're just staking the tokens which you're getting from the faucet on the testnet, they will not be converted into the real tokens, because the new balances would be distributed at the moment of the TGE, and will depend on the, let's say, on your participation in some offerings, or on your participation in some of the campaigns, having NFTs and so on and so on and so on. But it's not about the real balances that you have right now. How does Swisstronic aim to appeal to both developers and end users with privacy features and decentralized service offerings? What specific advantages does Swisstronic offer for developers looking to build privacy-centric decentralized apps compared to other platforms? As we have told before, for developers, there are two main programs: it's grants and bug bounties. But what's important here out of these programs is that we are giving them a way to create products that will be compatible with all the biggest existing networks, and of course will provide interoperability with the networks that are going to be run out in the future.
Maybe let me add that we are currently working with a partner to enable account abstraction as well on our chain, so that may be interesting for several dApps and users as well. So just figured I'd mention it based on the topic of developers and users, enabling different features for them.
Yeah. Do investors receive tokens, and on what basis do they receive them? As always, all the terms of the of any of the programs can be reviewed on the pages of these programs or in discussions with our community managers. Because again, if I'll give you some details that they may be different from the ones that are provided by the community managers, and I don't think that would be right from my side. On this kind of calls, we mostly concentrate on the development-related questions or the product-related questions itself. How will Swisstronic use of Cosmos SDK and EVM compatibility benefit the user experience in terms of accessing decentralized apps across different ecosystems? What types of applications in industries might benefit most from Swisstronics multi-level security and privacy protection features? I would say that the important thing here is that any tokens minted on Swisstronic, let's say ZK tokens, would be usable on EVM chains or on Cosmos chains. Also, the SDI be also usable from this type of networks. And if we're talking about applications and industries, I would say that applications who are under regulation right now. For example, decentralized exchanges, custodial wallets, any kind of DeFi's, let's say Lightning protocols and so on, they are all somehow obliged to verify their users and verify the assets which are running there. Even though the regulation is not working everywhere right now, and it's not that harsh that it would be quite soon. This is the moment when everything is changing, and we are actually giving them an easy way to adopt to this kind of regulations. That's for the Web3. For the Web2, as I told, this is the companies who want to tokenize their assets and add them to the Web3 world. Specifically, this applies to the banks and to the companies that are mining something or selling goods, of course. But also, the product itself can be added to a completely decentralized systems without any relation to the decentralized world. For example, for verifying the logistic lines or verifying counterparties and stuff like that. Does Wystronic plan to extend in Telegram? I collect SWTRs and Pixel Wallet. This is a mini app in TG. Actually, yeah. I'm not sure whether we can tease it or not.
I think,
But I think we
stay
can.
tuned to the updates, and we'll share some interesting information about it soon.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So absolutely, stay tuned. You would be happy. Let's say like this. Where did the word Swisstronic come from? Your project, and also what's the logic behind its official logo? Oh yeah, I love this question. This is the best question. It's nice. It's nice. Actually, we were looking for the name of the company for quite a long time, and Tronic was just one that we generated during the brainstorm, but it means something that's automated. Let's say, like like this Tron or Tron, all these things. And the Swiss came actually because the logic behind the product itself is trying to utilize the same approach to the decentralization and to democracy related processes as in Switzerland, because we are preserving privacy, just like the Switzerland was also, throughout its whole way, trying to preserve the banking privacy for the people. On the other hand, you have a huge amounts of companies that can verify your data and do it differently. Like you have a lot of cantons, all of them have different regulations, and all of them treat people differently. Of course, there's federal government, but this is another question. And eventually, the company comes from Switzerland, and our CEO and founder comes from Switzerland, and that's it. And our front office is there. So that's why it's Swiss plus Tronic. And the logo, the centerpiece of the logo, the cross, is actually it comes from the flag of Switzerland, but the small things on the sides are trying to represent in some stylish way the CPU. So it's like the CPU with the Swiss flag on top of it. That's the I think that describes it in some way. And last question I see right now is Swisstronic being a layer 1 token, do we plan integrating other chains into our centralized exchange? And I mean other layer 1s like BNB, Solana, and so on. Yeah, of course. So actually, our goal is to be interoperable with as many things as possible and to utilize as many other networks as we can, and to provide our services on as many networks as we can. Oh, I see one more. What approach does Swisstronic take to be quite better and different than other layer 1 blockchain solutions? Actually, we answered this question in some way before, but I'll try to answer it again, is that we are trying to combine two uncombinable things, is being privacy preserving, so trying to keep as much of your data safe as possible, but on the other hand, being compliant, so actually being reactively adaptable to the regulations everywhere, and helping you not lose your money in some way because you were target of the fraudsters, or not have any problems with the law, or not being part of the exchange that was banned because it was not following the regulation. You just have more control. But on the other hand, you would be able to keep the things that were not private before private using ZK tokens. I think that's all.
Yeah, I think that's all.
We tried to answer as many of your questions as possible. We'll be really looking forward for the new ones. Don't forget about testnet 2.0. Don't forget about pre-offering. I think it closes on the 4th of October. Yeah, so it'll be a good idea to join it while we can. Thank you all for participating. Hope the new format was working fine. We'll check how it went, and if it was okay-ish, we'll continue this way. If not, we'll stick to the previous one.
Yeah, please leave your feedback, and we will try and check out everything, like all the feedback that we'll receive.
Yeah, and maybe everything even better. So, okay, thank you so much, guys, for participating. Have a great week, have a great month. And yeah, by the way, one important thing that I forgot to mention is that on the next week, we're coming to CV Summit in Zug. And if some of you would be there, just try to contact our community managers. They will contact you with us and would be happy to meet there on the conference itself or somewhere outside of the venue to have a fire chat. That's it, I think so. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.